I was offered a seat. I'm going to stand instead, if that's all right. So, my name is Matt Russo. I'm the Chief Operating Officer of a company called the Mobile Majority. We are based out of Santa Monica, California, and we also have offices in San Francisco, Chicago, Detroit, New York City, and a development team down in Sao Paulo, Brazil. We are in the mobile advertising space, so we serve those annoying ads to you in the websites and apps that you frequent. And I joke partially, right? We are in an extremely fast-growing space. There is a flood of advertising dollars, obviously shifting from traditional media sources into the mobile devices that we carry around every day in our pockets and probably checked just now in between sessions. And so we have been around for about 4.5 years now and have grown significantly. This time last year, we were about 40-ish employees. And today, across all of our offices, there are about 60. And let's see here. So at the core of what we do, we serve engaging ads to real people. And that's really at the heart of kind of how we differentiate. I don't know how versed everyone here is in the media space or advertising space, but right now in mobile, there's a ton of talk about things like viewability, ad fraud, ad blocking. And so what I'll walk you through is kind of the platform that we've built from scratch through the learnings that we've had as a company evolving. But it all centers around building a technology that is built vertically integrated and not necessarily using third-party add-ons in order to do all of the different pieces that we actually do. So at the core of this is an innovation conference, right? And innovation is at really the heart of American enterprise. Does anybody know what house this is? It is. It's Steve's house. Steve who? I'm just kidding. So this was the childhood home of Steve Jobs. And this is where the first 100 apples were produced by him and Steve Wozniak and sold. And this is, right, the dream of so many startups, starting things that could become global out of your basement or out of a garage, right? But ultimately, this is what could become of that, right? These are all individual companies in spaces like ours, blips on the radar, that have hopes to accomplishing bigger, better things, but because of a convoluted ecosystem, get pigeonholed and fit into little nooks and crannies of an overall a greater piece. So while companies, I think strive to be innovative, they come at a cost oftentimes. The old adage of just get out the gate and start something and build it quickly, right? Often comes at a cost. It's easier than ever, especially with all the cloud-based solutions and all the third parties that you can literally plug in and start with. But I think it comes at a cost of companies not knowing the questions that they should be asking, right? So as a result, people get out the gate and start something and then pivot and then change a little bit and start again and then pivot. And it looks something like this without really knowing where they're going. For us, the question that we asked is what's the ultimate goal that we're trying to solve? Where is the opportunity and how long will it take or what will it take to get there? Like I said, mobile advertising is growing significantly. There's tons of ad dollars moving from traditional into mobile. Year over year, it's about a 52% increase in global ad spend every single year. And by 2018, there's expected $100 billion to be pouring into mobile, and that's the market that we're going after. So like I said, as all these ad dollars started shifting towards mobile, a lot of companies were formed with the background and premise of using desktop solutions, advertising solutions that were built for laptops, desktops, right? Because that technology was there. It was easy to grab, it was easy to modify and tweak and say, oh, cool, this works mostly for desktop, why don't we just add some mobile components to it? But the issue that it leads to is kind of the theme of this talk, which is the fragmentation. So there are literally companies in our space that are doing things like trying to solve better targeting for mobile consumers, viewability, ad fraud, like I've said, media, right? Creative solutions, measurement, management, all kinds of stuff. And again, this is what it leads to. So this is a long way of saying the mobile majority has set out to vertically integrate all of these. So on the far left-hand side, you are an advertiser or a brand, right? And all the way over on the right-hand side, there are the consumers that you want to reach. Within this path, each of these companies serve a little piece of what it takes to deliver real ads to real people, right? What the mobile majority is doing is building out that entire ecosystem from scratch, from mobile, with a mobile focus, from the ground up. And so we do all of these things, which is kind of hard to believe, but we know that the market opportunity is such that when and if we do this well, we can solve that fragmentation problem. So is the problem you're working on big enough, unique enough, and different enough that the competition will be rendered obsolete? And that's really kind of our working thesis. So our approach is threefold. Vertically integrating the stack, which ultimately leads to blue ocean strategy, which I think is a little overused, but I'll show you how it applies to us, and then virtuous cycles. So vertically integrating, like I said, instead of focusing on one specific piece of the puzzle, we are stacking them all together so that we can get to something like this. So this is what a typical campaign looks like for one of our clients. So we work with big national brands around the country, Chase, Honda, Acura, big brands who want to reach great audiences on their mobile devices where people are spending their time. In the traditional model, on the left-hand side, the four main buckets that have to take place in order to push an ad to a consumer is the audience piece, who do you want to reach? The creative, how do you want it to be displayed, that you can do really, really amazing things inside of mobile ads, not just those annoying static banners. The measurement piece, ad serving, impressions, click-through rates, all that stuff. And then the media itself, where your ads are going to be show up. So for a typical advertiser on a $100,000 campaign and going through that array of all the different companies in order to do these main components, they're left with about $18,000 worth of impressions on their $100,000 spend. Through the mobile majority, a $100,000 spend, a significant portion more is allocated towards the impressions, the people that you want to reach, putting your message in front of the right people. And it's because of all of those components over on the left-hand side are taken care of through our platform. As a result, we know that we can deliver more value to our clients, to the people who want to be advertising. But we also know in the way that we've built our technology, all of it is pieced together. Within 100 milliseconds, basically, which is half the blink of an eye, these technologies have to receive the request, bid request to serve an ad, determine if that's the type of person, smartphone, environment, whatever they want to determine, if that's the right kind of bid that they want to do. And because of that lag time, by bolting on all of these external solutions, they don't have a fast enough way to do it. So as a result, our technology works faster. We're able to make better decisions on the impressions that we actually serve, which leads to things like higher viewability, lower ad fraud. We actually have an internal prediction system called Ad Synergy that allows us to determine if an ad is going to be viewable before we even serve it, which is pretty cool. And then through all of this, our system gets smarter and smarter. We can actually pre-weed out the bad impressions, and as we get more and more data through the impressions that we serve, we're able to get smarter. Our system gets smarter and smarter so that we can build out smarter audiences, smarter targeting, better creative, et cetera. So I would say, when startups look at the task at hand and what they're trying to accomplish, look past what's possible right now and what may seem impossible, and uniting around an entire industry and asking yourself if that is a goal that's worth achieving. We started out as a standard company. We actually were a mobile rewards company, and we started with our hypothesis. We tested it. We realized that the problem that we were trying to solve was too small, and then we started asking bigger and bigger questions. This year, we're projected to hit $50 million in revenue, and we are currently raising our Series C round. And obviously our team is growing as well. So we have our vision set on things even outside of the mobile space that I'll hold maybe for another presentation. But definitely appreciate the time today. If anyone has any questions, would love to chat afterwards. Thank you.